Okay, so here's the story. I own two G-Shocks, one of them being a 6900, specifically the GW6900. It's one of the variants. I can't remember the exact model number off the top of my head. So I bought it last year, and I've had it now for about a year and a month, and one of my relatives absolutely loves it. Every time I wear it, they marvel at it. And they've been teasing me about how one of these days they're going to steal it. Well, over the last year, like I said, I have two G-Shocks. The other is a GW500A 1CR. And if you Google that and you compare it to this one, you'll see that that one is significantly easier to read and easier to work with. And I actually wear that more than I wear the white one. The reason I say it's easier to work with is because if we take a look here at the display, you may not be able to see it clearly in this photo, but the display is a mirror display, which means it can only be read in certain lighting conditions, and the numerals were not near as bright as I expected or that turned up in photos before I ordered it. And I only wore it like every other week, but I got to the point where I was wearing the other one more and more, and knowing that one of my relatives really likes this, well, guess what? They don't know this, but I'm going to give this to them when I get back to my when I get back from my summer house. With that out of the way, the question is, what do I replace it with? Because I've been working as a graduate assistant for the last several semesters, and I've got money coming in. So, I'm able to go ahead and get myself a little something. And this is where you guys come in, because I've never done one of these before. I'd like to hear your thoughts. This is going to be a vote. So, one of them that's up for possibility is the Atomics, what I consider to be large print digital 24-hour atomic watch. And I just said 24-hour because you have the ability to view your time in 12 or 24 hours. If I decide to get this one, what'll happen is I will immediately go into the menus and I will switch it to 24 hours. It's radio controlled. It's global. It's it's pretty standard. It's also got dual time zones and a backlight. The only thing that I'm a little concerned about is the leather band, but I'm considering taking one of my other watches. If you take a look at my video, Solar Talking Atomic Watch, that watch has failed. It still runs, but the solar cell's not able to keep a charge, so in order to keep it up, I have to keep it constantly under the artificial light, and obviously that's not ideal for a watch. But you can see the case design is pretty much the same. So I think a band swap should work, because the band is still perfectly usable on that, even though the watch isn't. So that's one possibility. The other possibility is this. Last year I put up a video on a one-handed 24-hour watch that I'd honestly like to see about getting one of these days, but the 24-hour movements were usually a bit out of my price range. Oh, I forgot to mention, before I continue, this one is $34. This one is $99, and you're thinking, well, that's pretty steep. Well, you have to consider the characteristics. This is a single-hand 24-hour movement, and what that means is each of these big notches represents an hour. The medium-sized notches represent half hours, and the little notches represent every 10 minutes. So, right now, the watch is showing 3 o'clock in the morning. Right now, I have right about 6:30, which means that the hand would be pointing about here. Okay? And the really cool thing is that it makes one revolution in a day, and we have 24 hours in a day, So it just, this feels more natural. But yeah, this one is $99. So to vote, you guys are going to say one of two options. For this one, if you want this one, if you're thinking this one, then type in the comments De Tomaso, DETOMASO. If, however, you want this one, then you will type in the comments Atomics, ATOMIX. And I will have my decision based on your votes most likely by the end of the week. Thank you for watching. I look forward to your input. Comments are welcome, and have a nice day.